They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. For he seeth that wise men die. Likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Repeat the same dosage in 4 hours. No sooner unless absolutely necessary. And maybe you can reach me at home.
Yes, Doctor.
That God will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, for he shall receive me, Selah. Be not thou afraid when one is made rich, when the glory of his house is increased. For when he
dieth, he shall carry nothing away. His glory shall not descend after him. That will be your cousin. That's enough.
Grandmother, don't you think you could sleep a little now? The medicine the doctor must...
I'll sleep soon enough. I mean to use every minute that's left me. I want to see Julian. Fetch my grandson.
Oh, good evening, cousin.
Hello, Julian.
I'd forgotten how far this place was from civilization. Oh, how is our venerable grandmother?
Very weak. It's so long since any of you have been to see her.
Well, we all trusted grandmother to your capable hands, cousin. Mother called me as soon as she got the wire. I took the first train out.
I thought that would bring all of you.
My dear parents will be down tomorrow. You didn't think we'd let grandmother die without the comfort of her family about her, did you?
No, I didn't think you'd run the risk. You just didn't want to trouble yourselves until it was absolutely necessary. You'd let me take care of her all this time. Not even leaving this house the last 3 years.
Yes, I've no doubt you've worked your way, Julia. But you must admit the living conditions are a little better than you'd find at your home. Oh, by the way, how is dear Aunt Marion?
Mother's fine.
You needn't act so sanctimonious. We're all here for the same thing.
What do you think you deserve, any of you? You've never come to see her. Never written it except at Christmas to make sure you get your usual check.
While you, like a little Florence Nightingale, have been sacrificing yourself at her sickbed. Well, a gamble won't pay off for 2 reasons. You weren't born a male, and I was named after grandmother's dear departed husband, Julian. Although I must admit, under the circumstances, your mother came as close as she could by naming you Julia. Now, if you don't mind, I'd... Well, who's that?
That's Bruce Lewin. He's from the university. Grandmother got him in to catalog the library.
Now, we better count the books carefully when he leaves. All right, Julia. You've had grandmother as your private preserve long enough. I want to see her now.
Julian.
Grandmother. I came as soon as I could. As soon as they let us know.
You're so like him. So like your grandpapa.
I brought you something, darling.
Just what he always brought me. A single red rose. Your grandfather used to cut one from my rose garden every morning.
I know, Grandmother. Julian knew, too.
You must be tired after your long trip.
No, grandmother. Not now that I've seen you.
Well, well.
Well, you certainly don't look sick to me, Miss Sarah.
I pay my doctor for that sort of lying. I don't expect it from my lawyer. You brought the papers?
Right here, Miss Sarah.
You excuse me. I have some business. Did you see to a room for Julian?
Yes, Grandmother, I'll take care of it.
See you in the morning.
What's that all about?
I don't know.
Well, why does she want to see her lawyer?
About the will, I suppose. She must be changing it.
Well, I don't think I have anything to worry about. I could use a drink. Tell me, is there any brandy in the drawing room decanter?
I don't know.
Oh, come now. She's kept it filled since Grandfather's Day. Don't tell me you let it run dry.
She hasn't left her bed for over 2 years, but you wouldn't know that.
You're a brave, loyal girl, Julia. Oh, when I inherit the money, I'll buy you a gold medal. Oh, while you're still the hostess here, which room would you like me to take?
The east bedroom. I'll have your bag sent up.
Bless you, cousin. I'll do the same for you one day. Oh, you don't mind if I disassemble Grandfather's little shrine here, do you? Believe me, it'll do a lot more good with me upstairs.
The vultures have caught the scent of death. She must be in a pretty bad condition. You can always tell when they start circling. I'm through with my job here. I want you to come away with me, Julia. Now. I asked you to marry me before she was so sick. I'm asking you again now. That associate professorship at the university won't pay much, but we can live on it.
I can't leave now.
Because of the will?
No, it isn't that.
Why were you so upset about your cousin's arrival?
But what right has he got to the money? What's he done for her? What have any of them done? They knew she was sick. All these years, I've been taking care of her.
What about your mother?
Well, she should have come before this, but knowing that I was here.
As her deputy.
Don't say that. She's my mother. She's the one who really needs the money. When she married, Grandmother cut her off. And since my father died, she's had nothing at all.
Do you know that on nothing at all, she still lives better than my mother did? She had to work all of her life. Julia, listen to me. I love you. You don't need that money.
You're working for money, aren't you? It happens to be very little. Would you refuse to take it if it were more?
It's not the kind of money you work for I'd refuse. It's this. Look what it's done to all of them. If you got it, they'd be hovering around you the same way they're hovering around your grandmother right now. Waiting to sink their claws. I've got nothing against money. I couldn't have got through college if it hadn't been for that scholarship the rich man provided. It's this kind of money I hate. This I'll have nothing to do with.
You're trying to tell me that if Grandmother left her estate to me, you wouldn't marry me?
I know that sounds like the silliest thing you ever heard of, Julia, but that's true.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I'm poor. I can afford to be ridiculous.
Well, I love you too, Bruce, but when you start putting conditions, testing me...
It's no test. It's a very basic decision. I'm finishing up the inventory first thing in the morning, and I'm leaving then. Anyway, you're going to have to make your decision about us. Right now.
I can't. Can't you understand? I can't leave her now.
No. No. I guess maybe you can.
Miss Cather,
Yes?
your grandmother's asking for you.
I want you to read to me. No. Read me Cicero on old age.
Oh, Grandmother, not that one. That's so depressing.
Just where you left off. Nurse. I want some water.
I have fresh water right here. I'll get it for you.
I want some water from downstairs. And take a few minutes to get it. Put the book down, child. I know more about old age than Cicero did. I have no more problems before me. But you have.
What do you mean, Grandmother?
I've kept my bed over here near the window so I could look out into my rose garden. He seems a very nice young man. An opinionated young man, but nice. The world is full of nice people. They tell me everything's changed since I was young, but it hasn't. Of course, it's easier to be sensible at my age than yours. But women still want security.
Grandmother, I'm sorry you overheard.
That's too mild a term, child. I listened deliberately. I made a wise marriage with your grandfather. I've had this house and a good life. But I was in love once. Foolishly in love with a clerk in a dry goods store. And he died a few years ago. He owned the store. That's as high as he ever rose in the world. Yes, I made a good marriage. And I was a good wife to your grandfather, except in one thing. I was never able to give him a son. The clerk had 5 children, all of them sons. When you're young, you're just naturally romantic. But there is a choice that every girl has to make, if she's pretty enough to be asked. I was pretty, Julia. As pretty as you are. In the top drawer of my bureau, behind the stocking box, is a little leather case.
Oh, this one?
Yes. Bring the red one, too. The only present he ever gave me. I kept it for sentiment. Sentiment was the fashion in those days. Now open that one. This is what your grandfather gave me. Good night, child. Sleep well. Leave the boxes I want to look at them. Good night, Grandmother. Good night.
Mr. Lewin come in yet this morning? I wanted to... What's the matter? What happened? Grandmother worse?
She's gone, Miss Cabot.
Gone? When?
About 4 o'clock this morning.
Why wasn't I called? Why...
I told them not to call you, Julia. After all, you've sacrificed enough for poor grandmother. There was nothing you could have done. I was with her at the end.
Dr. Matthews was here, and I've sent for the undertaker.
Don't tell me you're leaving, cousin. You're giving up.
Oh, no, not now. You bet I'm not.
I'm glad I got here in time. Her passing was so peaceful.
The family has no objection. I'll call the minister and arrange about the eulogy.
Yes, Mr. Franklin, whatever you think she would have wanted will be perfect. Yes?
The gardener just told me. Terribly sorry.
Thank you. You're the fellow taking the inventory?
I'm cataloging the library yet.
Well, I'd appreciate it if you make it as quick as possible. Perhaps you better forget it entirely for now. You'll be paid the full amount.
I've been paid. I'll be finishing up this morning. I can leave within the hour.
I wish you'd stay for the reading of the will. There's a small bequest. It's to be day after tomorrow at noon.
I'll be back.
And Emily, Uncle George. Hello, Mr. Franklin.
Mother, Father.
I thought I was going to faint. I don't know why they have such long services at the graveside. When my time comes, I want it to be simple, Julia.
Mother, please, let's not have any more talk about dying.
Look at them, as though they'd already banked the money. She sent for the lawyer before Julian came, didn't she? So it wasn't his fawning over her that made her change the will.
Mother, you'll read the will and we'll all know, and we can stop acting like vultures.
Julia, what a terrible thing to say.
Well, it's true, we're vultures, all of us.
Julia, your own grandmother.
It's just noon. This will is dated the evening before she died. It is holographic. There are no witnesses. I, Sarah Scarborough, being of sound mind and memory, hereby make and declare this my last will and testament.
Why doesn't he get on with it?
Hereby revoking all other wills and codicils to wills heretofore made by me, I direct that a fund be established to continue the allowance of my daughter Emily for as long as she may live. Inasmuch as I wish to carry no grievance beyond the grave, I likewise direct that my daughter Marion be given a like sum of money for the duration of her life. I make no provision for my son-in-law George Strelson, since my daughter Emily's allowance has provided for them in the past and may be expected to do so in the future.
Wait a minute. The last time I saw Emily, she promised me I'd be remembered. Here, let me see that. I'm sorry.
Miss Cabot, I'm afraid you'll have to help me. You'll have to finish the reading.
And may be expected to do so in the future.
We've heard that.
I further direct that the entire contents of my library be delivered to Mr. Bruce Lewin to dispose of as he sees fit. I make this bequest in the confidence that Mr. Lewin will appreciate these books.
My mother must have been out of her mind.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, let him have the books. Get on with it.
To my granddaughter, Julia Cabot, I leave my enduring thanks for her many kindnesses to an old woman. I leave her my Bible, and I further bequeath her a silver and turquoise brooch whereof she knows.
Oh.
To my grandson, Julian Strelson, I leave the balance of my estate, confident that he well deserves it.
Oh.
Miss Cabot.
Don't you take it. Don't accept it.
She marked a passage in here, and she left this note. She hadn't much strength. I had to help guide her hand when she wrote it.
We'll fight it. I've never known such ingratitude. Why, we've sacrificed 3 years of our lives, and this is our thanks. You can just bet we'll fight it. It was written right before she died. You can't tell me my mother was in her right mind.
Was she out of her mind when she restored your allowance?
Oh.
Dr. Matthews and the nurse will both testify as to her mental state. Mrs. Scarborough knew exactly what she was doing up until the last.
We'll get another lawyer. You'll see.
Mother, stop it! I've lost. I've lost everything. I'm no more good to you. Now, get out and leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
Julia, you don't know what you're saying. We'll fight it. You'll see. He won't get away with it. You just wait.
I'm sorry, I really am. However, I felt you didn't deserve a slap like this.
She left me a Bible verse. She always said she wanted it buried with her. When thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth, that thine alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly. Listen to your heart. It makes the wisest choice. I made my choice long ago and left the man I have loved all my life. It was a bad bargain, and I have watched the ruin wealth made of my family. I leave you, my favorite, your freedom, the greatest of all legacies.
Let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth. She was a wonderful woman.
She was wonderful and very wise.
No regrets.
For what she gave me? No, Bruce. It's a legacy I'll be grateful for as long as I live.
For as long as we both shall live. That's in there, too.